Hi, everyone. Welcome to our podcast. I'm Joel.
And I'm Andrea.
We are two siblings that love to hate each other. And this podcast is pretty much just another outlet for us to express that hatred. The structure of this podcast is pretty simple. Andrea's going to spend the first 15 minutes or so discussing something that happened, gossip related, maybe pop culture stuff that I might not be up to date with. Yeah, we'll just be going back and forth about something that happened this week. And then after that, I'll have a top 10 game for her to play that I created where I'll explain it when we get there. But yeah, I list items from 10 to 1, and she has to try to figure out what the list is for. And then finally, the last few minutes or so will just be some miscellaneous stuff. Last week, we discussed something about potentially a song recommendation. So we'll have an update on that. And yeah, that should be it. We'll try not to make this too long. But Andrea, you want to go ahead and get us started with your gossip?
Oh, yes. Now this one, okay, Joel, this has been tea in the making for I want to say 2 weeks now, and it involves some huge celebs that you know. Have you heard the name Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner?
Yes, I think I've seen those names a lot lately. Joe Jonas,
Uh-huh.
is he the Jonas brother that was in the Disney movie?
Well, okay, they all show up in it, but he's the leading one in Camp
Oh,
Rock with the first
Camp Rock, right.
movie. He has the little bangs and he's
Who are
kind
the
of
other two Who are the other two brothers?
Nick and Kevin. Nick is the one
Nick and
married to
Kevin.
Priyanka Chopra. Chopra? Didn't say you pronounced
Which
right.
one's the bad boy? Is that Nick?
Nick is the quiet one, the shy one, but he's also the
Well,
one that everyone finds most attractive.
I was gonna say,
For a
wasn't there
while.
like a bad boy that was causing a lot of drama out of the three? Or am I thinking of something
Nick
else?
had he was the one with a breakthrough solo career. And then Joe had his own little band. But then
I
now the
don't
Jonas Brothers
know. Ew.
got back together. Anyway, so this is about okay, do you know who Sophie Turner is though?
She sounds familiar. I think I've seen her face. Was she in Game of Thrones?
Yep, yep. I
Okay,
think
okay, okay.
Queen of the North is they call her. I didn't watch Game of Thrones.
I didn't watch it
So
either, so I don't know.
anyway, so that's how she became popular. So that's everyone knows Jonas Brothers Disney days, and then so we turned our Game of Thrones. So which is gonna lead into a theory that I have towards the end. Anyway, so this is about their divorce. That's being plastered everywhere. And well, from what is being said on the realm of social media and some news outlets, there is a certain someone who's making this very public. But I'll get to that. So, for some background, first of all, they have a 7-year age difference. Okay.
Who's
So,
older?
Joe Jonas.
Okay, okay.
So, they got engaged back in 2017 when Joe was 28 and Sophie was only 21. But they started dating when she was 19, which is a little
So she was 19 and he was 26.
19. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yo, boy. Oh boy. Okay. All
Those
right.
age gaps. And get this,
Interesting.
when he was I think 18 or 19, he asked Gigi Hadid out on a date when she was 13.
Oh, Joe, my guy. All right. This is okay.
Anyway, so there's that background. So, okay, so just some context of their journey as a relationship. I don't remember how long they were engaged for, but they had a long engagement because it was also during COVID and stuff like that.
That makes
And
sense.
she was still filming. So it was all that. But on July 22nd in 2020, Sophie had given birth to their first child, Willa. And in July 2020, COVID was still, yeah, COVID happening and all that. So there was weird comments made, how Sophie was this was a great opportunity to kind of keep Joe finally in the house, keep him locked in because he would always be out and about. So like he would even say that too. He's just like, yeah, I guess the like COVID thing helped keeping me like actually like at home with my family, which is kind of like why does a whole like virus like need to keep you home? Like that's like a whole global pandemic is the only way you will stay at home with your family. Like, okay.
Okay. All right.
And like
That's
at this
interesting.
point too, she was doing like little interviews and things like that. Like there's one with Conan O'Brien where she was explaining how she's a homebody and Joe is not. And she's very much likes to like just chill, relax at home, and all of that, right? So going more into it, on July 2020, no, July 2022, they have another baby girl. I don't have her name, but also I'm not going to give out too much information on the kids because Sophie has been very adamant. She's always wants them to kind of have more of a private life than an actual like. She doesn't want them to grow up like famous and popular because she feels like that can obviously will screw up like a kid's life. So she wants them to at least have like some semblance of privacy, to at least have at least a relative normal upbringing.
That's going to be a
Um,
bit of a struggle, but okay. I
so they
admire the
actually
attempt.
So she wanted to relocate to the UK because the schools are better there and she has a bigger chance of getting them some privacy. And that was something that they had discussed prior, and it seemed that they had agreed on that they would all relocate to the UK, and then there the girls would grow up in a more like healthy, like privacy living situation. So there's like, and to kind of like, I'm bringing this up first because she actually went on Instagram once and she shared something where she basically said, like, I had made an honest mistake, accidentally posting a video of our daughter on Instagram stories. We have always advocated for our kids' rights to privacy. So sharing this publicly is something that is against anything I stand for. Our children deserve the right to grow up out of the public eye, to learn and grow in private. Um, yeah, so she was just kind of like, I would greatly appreciate if anyone who has reposted on any other platforms, please delete the video. So that's her stance, always been their stance the entire time they were together. Like, barely anything would come out of these kids, unless, of course, it's like paparazzi who's hounding them down and when they're just like trying to take their kids outside or just,
I was
basic
gonna say,
stuff. But for
I
the
just hope it doesn't turn into one of those like helicopter parent type situations where now it's like their kids want to do stuff and they're like, no, you can't do it because you like you're gonna, like I hope it doesn't turn into like a super controlling thing. But I mean,
well,
wanting
unfortunately,
privacy for your kids when you're a celebrity, I mean that's admirable. That's that's a good way to go about it. But it's in today's world when everybody's connected so easily through a phone and stuff, and
that's true.
it's gonna be difficult for sure.
I don't know how I've okay, I'm leading up to something which I personally think would I could see because I don't know her anything, but the whole helicopter mom thing doesn't seem so far out considering basically the kid's privacy has not that it was violated, but it was like, okay, the father was the one who actually brought more spotlight on them. And it seems kind of intentional, and I'll get to it there. So we have September 6th this year, 2023. Joe Jonas breaks the news that he is divorcing Sophie Turner.
He breaks the
And
news.
so his team. So like the two like sites that basically covered the divorce announcement, or they're like he filed for divorce. TMZ and the Daily Mail say an anonymous source um, categorized Sophie Turner, who's 27 now, as a party goer who felt trapped in her marriage and wanted to live out her youth. And this was all coming from Joe Jonas's team. So TMZ and Daily Mail cited that they were given this information from Joe Jonas's team that he was filing for divorce because Sophie Turner is basically a party goer who just wanted to live out her youth. And this all also came out with pictures of Joe Jonas taking his two girls with a nanny, where they were coincidentally photographed by paparazzi. And people were like, how is it that now, out of like how many, like how long have they had their children, that now suddenly they have a little family photo shoot? Coincidentally, like paparazzi see
So
them.
my question is, right, since you told me everything about Sophie and like what she said about the privacy of her kids and stuff. All of those things were said like publicly prior to this Joe Jonas's news of like um divorce coming out. So like it wasn't like his news of divorce came out and then Sophie started saying stuff like retroactively. Like all of this was
I
like
think
had
she
already
said
happened.
all those things like even during like COVID breakdown, all that. And like her and Joe, like they seemed like a united front in that. And we want our kids' privacy because the entire time they were together, you didn't really see the kids. And if you did, it was very much like there's a thing as like people like to say where some celebrities you can tell they hired paparazzi, but they try to stage it like they didn't. So, but they look like aesthetically pleasing when they go grocery shopping. So it's kind of like a weird little photo shoot where they try to make it seem like authentic and like, oh, we didn't mean to get like caught on a photograph, but it's obviously they are. But with them,
Quick sidebar, just regarding TMZ, that's still a thing?
yeah, yeah, it's getting like picked up. Like people go, I guess they get like a lot of like source, but again, it's the whole like a lot of celebrities
I
want to be relevant, so they will like feed things to what they know is going to be the gossipy thing.
I
That,
thought
like
TMZ was like almost like the BuzzFeed, like memed, like there's no way people take it seriously anymore.
I felt like TMZ was like around Paris Hilton times, and like it's always a Paris Hilton time, in my opinion. But like peak, like Paris Hilton and like Kim Kardashian, all of that. Like, so I was honestly, I'm just like TMZ's still a thing,
Okay, that's crazy.
but it was like told to them, so they're the ones who broke the news. So basically more things kind of like the similar things are coming out. So there's again, it's all from Joe's team. At this point, haven't heard anything from Sophie. So there's a lot of people online commenting like they can't imagine how like crap Sophie must feel because he filed for divorce while she's right now in the UK filming, and he has the kids in his custody because they had agreed that after his tour, they would all officially move into the UK. They already have a house and everything. But he wanted the kids to tour with him because he had more of a chance to like have time with the kids than she would filming because she like her filming, I guess, because for him tour is only at night. But for her filming is like during the day and all of that. So it only made sense that okay, he's gonna stay with the kids. So all this is happening and people are feeling for Sophie because they're like, she's literally in another country away from her kids. She found out through like TMZ and all of that he filed for divorce. Not like, yeah.
What the what? What is
Yeah.
happening right now? Like she didn't even know they were going to divorce. Like he just
So the team claims this is like what I recently found yesterday because like it's still ongoing. So like even today something else popped up that it will be the last thing I mentioned. But they had been having like there seems to be that they've been having fights, and what a lot of speculation is that it's stemming around they're like it seems he doesn't seem keen on wanting to move away from like LA or the US or whatever. And so then that was kind of shocking to her because like they had agreed to move to the UK for the kids. And she had stayed in the US all this time, so she was away from family too. So it was kind of just like like relocating, but then he suddenly decided that no, like I want to stay where we are. But then people are also speculating he probably also just wants to keep going out and like, like he wants to be in the environment he's in at the moment. So it's probably putting up a front. And they're having claims that basically once she left, because this is like the whole court side of it, because it's happening in the US, there's like going to be problems for Sophie because it's a court in the US. So even though she's the mother, it might not favor her because it's like it's being handled in the US, and there's only like her rights won't be the same since she's a UK citizen compared to the US. So she's also trying to file for a court case in the UK saying that Joe Jonas abducted the kids because when it's her turn to have the kids now, yeah. So she had requested for him to give her the kids' passports because now it's time for her to have the kids. He wouldn't give them back. So the kids can't leave the US. So she filed a court in
what the
the UK
this is
that
okay. This is
this is
I thought this
basically
was
what's
gonna be
happening.
like a normal like Oh, celebrity drop. What
This
the?
has gotten, yeah, it's gotten to another level. And that's like, again, Sophie, her team isn't coming out saying anything. But like Joe, like this is another thing, his lawyers, because they're trying to paint her kind of like as a bad mother. And apparently Joe Jonas has reached out to lawyers, and there's a source that claims he had been responsible for the kids the last few months while on tour as Sophie films in London. So again, it's trying to portray it like he's such a good dad. He takes his kid out. We have one photograph of him taking his kids out, not even by himself. It's two girls. He can't handle that apparently. He needs a nanny. And Sophie is like in London. And also, she took a break from acting and all of that to take care of the kids. Well, because he has been continuously going on tour and doing things for the Jonas Brothers.
I think these poor kids' lives, it's done. Whatever normalcy they wanted, it's gone. There's
And again, so when Sophie filed it, it's not, her team didn't go. Like it was because it's like, I think like a public record kind of thing. So, journalists and stuff, they were able to get their hands on it. So now it's even like, and again, still no comments from her. And people are pointing out that like the kids, when they grow up, they will see like the best thing Sophie can do is not make a comment, because when they grow up, they will see it's their dad bashing their mom, and their mom was the bigger person and didn't retaliate, which is like, it sucks. But it's like that really, I think, in my opinion, that realistically is the best thing she can do. It's just be like, it's so unfair because a lot of women are always put in the position, the men are emotional, how men are, they're fragile, you just gotta, you be the bigger person,
if everything like you're saying is true and the way it's coming out, Joe Jonas just seems like a piece of shit right now. Just like let's disregard his arguments with Sophie,
yeah,
like his lifestyle, whatever. Just doing what he's doing with the kids alone is like, what the actual, like, that is insane. Like, you might not be happy in the marriage, you might disagree, whatever, but like the kids have to come first. And like you're saying, when those kids grow up, like this is going to be immortalized like on the internet, and like they're going to be, it's going to be very easy for them to access this whole thing, and they can see like what their dad did, what their mom did, like, and again, going back to like the kids now, like growing up, the spotlight's just going to be on them now, like 24/7. Like the chance at normalcy was just like cut right now, just with this one thing. It's done.
You're
it's
literally
done. I genuinely,
I don't
think they're gonna have normal lives now, like for certain, just because of all this. That's insane. I still can't get over the fact that she found out his divorce intentions. Like, how do you not at least have these conversations?
Well, apparently, like the claim this team made is that no, she knew that it was leading towards divorce. She just didn't know he was gonna file for it. So they were having, again, because the fight's about where the kids are gonna stay. Like he suddenly changed his mind, and she was like, "We literally had an agreement. Why are you changing your mind now?" And so they were like, they knew this was basically gonna lead to divorce, but she didn't know he filed. Like, had no clue that he just suddenly did it. And people, so this is where speculation comes in. People think he waited until she was off for filming so he can file the divorce, and then he has the kids' passports.
Absolutely.
So she has no power over anything, because they're like, he also went to the press to paint 100%. Her bad, because since this is going to court, his lawyers can use this as a claim to show this is why the kids need to stay with the dad. The mother's not fit to take care of them.
Joe Jonas. What? Like,
and unfortunately,
again, if this is all true, because I'm not TMZ, I don't know, I don't know, whatever. If this is all true, Joe Jonas is a massive piece of shit. Wow.
Yeah.
Like,
and this and
that's not to say anything about Sophie, because I have no idea. Like, Sophie might not even be a saint. There might be some that's issues from, but like, and my hope, my genuine hope is that like this is like all of those rumors and stuff are like completely false, and maybe Sophie did actually know he was going to file, and maybe her play was to react as if she didn't know, to like I guess try to wrestle some, like I honestly actually I don't even know what the best case scenario is now, because this is like you damned if you do, damned if you don't now. But the kids are priority, right? I hope for their sake, like what it like it well they're I mean they're only like what 2 years old, 1 year old, right?
I mean, yeah, like 2020, so like 2, 3 maybe.
So actually they might not even be aware of everything that's happening. Those poor kids, man.
And like a weird thing that came up was, so on one of the concerts on September 6th, Joe changed the lyrics to a song he wrote, Hesitate, that's about like, he claims it's a song he wrote for Sophie, and that it has like, it's like his vows before he wrote his actual vows at the wedding they had. So when he's singing the song, he basically changed the lyrics. Like, don't, instead of saying don't be scared because I'm on your side, I'm on your side, he changed it to don't be scared because I'm on her side, when it was all happening and like people were already talking about it, that he's talking shit about her. And then he's saying some, and then he said also like, if you don't hear it from these lips, don't believe it. Okay. Like he said that at his concert. But then people are like, how much of this though is it you? Because like this is like damage is done. Like your team is the one saying like all of these things about your wife, and now you're saying if you don't hear it from these lips, don't believe it. But why is all this stuff coming out? Because it's not from your wife's side at all. So where's all that happening? But the latest we do have is that today I saw Sophie and Joe were with the girls. They had taken them out to a restaurant, and they just seem like they're having like a normal family outing. So people are thinking maybe after like how everything kind of blew up, they're probably trying to like reel it back in so they can still come to like hopefully a like good mutual decision.
Like
But
between them, maybe, but they've like I'm not gonna say they, because it's sounding very one sided, like it's mainly Joe, but like those, it's just like I couldn't care less about those two anymore, Joe and Sophie. I don't care what happens to them. I don't care if they get together, get happy, whatever. The kids' lives is it's changed forever now. Like that's just like, even if they get back to or decide not to divorce and continue to stay together, now this is always going to be a story. There's always going to be a spotlight on them. Will they, won't they? Are they actually going to divorce in the future again? What about the kids? I am 99% certain that if in the news you hear they come out and they say they're not getting a divorce, they're going to stay together, the only reason they're doing it is for the kids. Yeah, it's wow. I'm at a loss for words. That's not the kind of drama I was expecting. I was expecting like, oh, some like, no, that is some
no, this
serious.
is like, I'm like, this has been cultivating over time. So like the first time I was just like, should I bring it up? I was like, no, because I know there's a bunch of things that are going to come out, and a bunch of things did come out. One funny thing that I do want to address is this cool theory that everyone thinks Joe is a little bit envious of Sophie because Sophie is inherently cooler than him.
What?
Yeah, like because like she came off Game of Thrones and he was like a Disney kid, and if you see them like together, she's just like naturally a cool person. But it seems like sometimes he does things to try a little bit to seem cool. So there's like a whole theory that like he is just like has some sort of resentment towards her because he strives so hard to be seen as cool and like all of this. And you can notice it and like on certain clips. I'll see if I can find some and send them to you. You can notice it by the way he like does things, and it's kind of cringy. But like people think because Sophie just is known to be inherently a cool person that they're just like, because she's not like, she's just naturally is like, she doesn't try, she doesn't care. So that's like one thing too. Then that people were speculating before all this came out about like the kids, where they were going to stay and all of that. But yeah, that's all I have.
Okay. Wow. Well, that was something. That's insane. I don't even know what to say. Like, I just feel for the kids. I just feel for the kids. That's the main thing. Like, again, I don't know. Again, it's entirely possible Sophie's not a saint in this. It's entirely possible that stuff going on behind the scene. behind the scenes, maybe they're both not great. But yeah, for the kids' sake, I don't even know what the best step moving forward is. Like I guess it's to stay together just so that the kids at least have two parents constantly in their lives. But
I think at the moment it'd be best to not have any team say anything to anyone publicly because it's clearly is taking a turn more with like law. So kind of backtrack from that.
Well, yes, for legal reasons, I'm pretty sure their lawyers are telling them to shut up. But the ship has sailed. Like this is not going to be the same. Like it genuinely doesn't matter whether they get back together or not. Like it's done. The ship has sailed. Their reputation it's changed now. That is crazy.
Right, so on a lighter note, why don't we move on?
Okay.
I just like brought the mood down.
I was gonna say, yeah, usually gossip is a little, maybe more surface level, stupid kind of you're crazy, but this is I think this has some yeah. Whatever. That was crazy. Okay. So that was the gossip segment. Wow, what a segment.
My tea
Okay.
time.
All right. After that entertaining segment, we're going to move on to my segment, which will hopefully be a little more fun.
My
Okay.
husband.
So this is the top 10 game segment. I am going to list items from 10 to 1, but I'm not going to say what the list is for. Andrea has to figure out what the list is for just using the items on the list, and she gets a maximum of 3 clues. It could be clues or it could be yes or no questions as well. The simple rule is you can't use your clues like back to back, and after each item you get a guess. At the end, if you haven't guessed it by the time it gets to number 1, you get one final guess. And yeah, it's just let's see if you can figure it out. Okay.
Yeah.
You ready, Andrea?
Yes, yeah.
I'm ready for this one. We might have some discussion on this later. Okay. In at number 10, we have Los Angeles. Okay.
Okay.
So that's number 10.
Okay.
Number 9, we have Portland.
Okay. Cities. Okay.
Okay. You want any clues or anything yet? Or
My first brain is going like popular cities or like capitals, but I'm not entirely sure these are actually capitals of the states.
Funny
like
enough,
they're just like, popular.
I literally had this conversation with one of my coworkers where I was like, what was the capital of a state? And it was like some city I'd never heard of. And then we started looking at and it looks like most major cities are not the capitals of their actual states.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the state capitals are smaller than like the actual like most popular city in their state, which is crazy to me. But
yeah, I don't know why.
Okay, so number 10 was Los Angeles. Number 9 was Portland. Number 8, Miami. Okay.
So it can't be a terrible list.
So
if it was, I'd put Miami at number 1.
It can't be what?
It can't be like a negative, like bad list, where it's like places you wouldn't want to live because I put Miami at 1.
Okay, interesting. Okay. You want any guesses or anything so far? Are you good?
It seems all over the place at the moment. LA
Okay.
and Miami seem more like aligned, but then you have Portland right in the middle, which is like it's giving me like Bella Swan vibes.
Okay,
I don't understand what's
LA, Portland, Miami. Next up on the list, in at number 7, is Boston.
Now New England's coming in. Okay.
Okay.
What? Wait.
Okay.
LA, Portland. Well, Portland doesn't really have much to offer in terms of food besides just coffee, right? Okay, so it can't be food. Keep going.
Okay. In at number 6 is Philadelphia.
This isn't sports related, right? Because if it was, this is severely unfair.
Is that one of your yes or no questions?
No, it's not. Ignore that. Keep going. You can't
Okay.
do me this dirty. You know I'm shit at sports. So there's no way you can make it a sports one because like I will literally never get it.
I haven't
And if
said
you
anything
did
yet.
make it a sports one, fuck you.
I haven't said anything yet. Okay. In at number 5, we have Detroit.
Okay. Okay. So we have LA, we have Portland, we have Miami, we have Boston, we have Philadelphia, and now we have Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
See, now I'm thinking about airports, and I don't know why. I don't know why my brain's
I
going
don't
there.
know.
Like, which airport has the
So
best pet relief bathrooms? I don't know.
there's 4 items left on the list. You still have all your clues / questions left. Do you want to ask anything now or wait till the next item?
Is this related to travel and tourism?
Is that your official question?
Yes.
No.
Okay. So okay, but that does cancel out a lot. Okay.
Okay. Next, in at number 4, we have Chicago.
Driving? I don't know. I've never been to these states, these cities. Oh my god, and states too, I guess. 4? No, get me to 3. What's 3?
Okay, no questions, nothing?
No.
Okay.
Places most likely be populated by white people. No,
No.
don't make that my final guess. Actually, that makes no sense. Never mind. Keep going.
I was gonna say that's an interest. Okay. Wait. So that wasn't your. Well, I already answered. I'll give you fine. You know what? That's a freebie, Andrea. Well, but be careful next time. I'm not gonna allow any funny business. Okay. In at number 3, Dallas.
No, there's a lot of Republicans in Miami. Fuck.
Okay. 2 items left. Well, do you have a guess or anything after Dallas, or do you want a hint or clue or anything?
How many guesses do I have? 3, right? So I have 2 now.
Well, guesses, you can guess after every item. So like you can guess whatever the list is after every item.
I'm seeing my hints. My hints or whatever.
Hints and stuff. Yeah, you have 2 left. You have 2 hints / questions left. Do you
Okay,
want a
what
hint
was
or do you
this
want to ask a
one
question? Dallas was number 3.
I want a hint.
Okay, a hint. Major event.
I swear if it's fucking sports. I swear. A major event. See, here's the morbid side of Gen Z me. I'm thinking school shootings now.
I'm just gonna nip that in the bud.
Given
It's
by
not
the
that.
look in
It's
your
not that.
eyes.
It's not that. I'll give you that for free. It's not that.
Okay. Give me 2. What's 2?
In number 2, Washington, D.C.
Is this political?
Is that your final question?
Yes.
No.
Fuck. Okay, so now I'm thinking it's residential. What's number 1?
In at number 1, New York City. And before your final guess, I guess I'll just throw you another bone in there. Okay?
Am I doing that bad? You're like, he needs another help.
Common movie scenario.
Common movie scenario? See, I love romance movies. So now my head's going like the most like the movies that have like the best like kissing in the rain scenes. I don't know.
Using prior hints and questions, put everything together in there.
Wait, what was the first one? So like major event, movie scene. Why am I thinking about Rush Hour? Movie event. Okay. The state that has the most Oscar nominated people coming from it.
Okay. I guess I can see how you put that together. But no, you are wrong. Okay, Andrea, you ready for this?
I'm not gonna agree with this. I already feel it in my bones.
Major event, and it is a common movie scenario. Right?
Superheroes. Oh.
The top 10, I'm doing my Watch Mojo voice again. Top 10 American cities most likely to survive
The
an
zombie apocalypse.
alien invasion.
Oh. I would have ranked Miami lower.
Okay, so Los Angeles in at number 10, Portland at 9, Miami 8, Boston 7, Philadelphia 6, Detroit 5, Chicago 4, Dallas 3, Washington D.C. 2, and New York City 1. So
Wait, is it so like New York's most likely to survive?
Yeah.
Yeah, New
So
Yorkers are a different breed, I guess.
that's what I'm saying. Like number 1 was like the first one that came to mind. I was like, yeah, that's New York. That's no problem. All right, so starting from the bottom, Los Angeles, no chance whatsoever.
I mean, the traffic itself would be horrendous.
I was gonna say, they're not getting out of there because of the traffic alone. Like, good luck evacuating Los Angeles. And then the people, no offense to from the people from Los Angeles, I mean, they're like, I don't know that there's like New York, the complete opposite, right? That sense of community and strength and coming together. Los Angeles, I don't get that vibe. In Los Angeles, it's like I get the vibe that, like, at least in New York, the reputation or the stereotype is that they're mean or whatever. But because of what they've gone through, I still trust them to like come together to like work together if something big happened.
New Yorkers would
Los
get
Angeles, Los Angeles, no, everything's too spread out, too many. Like, I don't think they're gonna come. I don't think they're gonna be able to organize.
They have little communities within, but it's either communities united by being like gangs or something, that would actually thrive. The other ones are screwed.
Yes, like Los Angeles as
they
a
don't
whole,
believe in the sense of brotherhood.
I don't trust. Okay, number 9, Portland. Like a hippie community. The only reason I put them above Los Angeles is just because I feel like I feel like the people from Portland, like, I guess, like I said, it's a little smaller. Like I would imagine it would be easier to organize or whatever, but it's still like, like the hipster vibes. And like, I don't know, but they're in the.
If you cut off their coffee supply, they're goners.
Well, maybe. Most likely. Okay.
I stand by
8.
that. I've never been to Portland.
Okay, so I was thinking about putting Miami dead last because it's like, this is a party city. They don't stand a chance. However,
I think they would welcome an invasion considering their living situation.
massive Hispanic presence.
I was thinking the Cubans.
And Hispanics ain't gonna give a damn. So, like, I'm like, yeah, maybe the American part of Miami is screwed, but the Hispanics are going to come together and like get something going. So that's why I'm like, Los Angeles has a big Hispanic presence too, but again, too big, too spread out. You're not going to get anywhere because of the traffic.
Yeah, but the Hispanic presence they have is just like, oh, we're Hispanic, but like Miami's like, no, we are Hispanic.
The phrase that I heard is Miami is the capital of Central America or South America.
Yeah.
Even though it's like an American city. But yeah. Okay, so that's Miami. Boston, just because of the character of the people, they're a little more hardened. I still don't think they're gonna be able to put up much of a fight because I don't think it's as big of a city.
Attitude. I just don't think they have the actual strength, like physical, like.
I have no idea about that, but yeah, I don't know. Like more than they're definitely above the other 3, but I don't know that they're too high up. But the character alone, yeah. Philadelphia, I think, is a little more like hardened than Boston. I might be wrong, but it's also
like Philly. The nickname's Little Philly, so like like.
I think it's a bigger city than Boston, size-wise, at least. Maybe, I don't know. I might be completely wrong here. I have no idea.
I don't know.
But yeah, I don't know why Philadelphia is just Boston and Philadelphia. You could easily swap back and forth on.
I was also thinking when you say like Boston, I feel like it has more oomph, and it's like Philadelphia. So by the name itself,
just based on the name. Okay, yeah. Next, Detroit. I believe they're the only American city to have gone bankrupt, so they're jaded. Like,
you would, as a finance major, you would.
I think they're only and it's accounting. Thank you very much. And but like I'm pretty sure they're the only like at least major American city that's gone bankrupt. They really struggled a lot. Detroit has struggled a lot. I don't know if it's on the up and up now, but I know that they've struggled a lot in the past. So they're used to the struggle. They're used to the.
Are they 4 or 3?
They are 5
5.
because above
See,
them.
here's my thing. I feel like Detroit, like, if you don't have the in, you're fucked. So I would have ranked them higher. Because I was like, what's on there? Austin, Texas? Or like, yeah, I would. Or Houston,
So
Texas?
above them,
so I guess that.
above them, I
Rednecks are
put
crazy.
Chicago. Chicago's one of the most criminal cities
That's true.
in the US, I think. I've been to Chicago, but I only went downtown and it was during the summer and it was amazing. So I didn't see any of that. But I know that at least historically, I don't know how it is anymore, but at least historically, there's been a lot of crime there. So again, I feel like it's a hardened city. Chicago and Detroit, again, I could feel like you could kind of flip either way. But next, you have to put a Texas city in here because Texas has the guns. So like every man, woman, and child in Dallas is gonna have a gun if the alien invasion comes. So that's why I'm like, we gotta have a Texas city in the top.
I mean, 3. And they're prepared. They're ready to shoot anything that's not their same skin tone. I mean,
Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. Hey,
I'm here with the hard cold truth, Hood.
Okay. That's all right. I'm not.
I stand by that. I stand by that.
Okay. So, and there's obviously in Texas, there's a major Hispanic presence as well. So it's like you got white people with guns and you got Hispanics. That's a pretty solid.
It's a very also. I do want to say the two different demographics have 2 different ways of handling the whole gun thing. It's like white people have like a weird like kind of like fear behind using the guns, but Hispanics are like, oh no, I will enjoy this. Like I will.
Well, I was gonna say I feel like at least gun culture for Hispanics isn't really a thing. Like it's just like, yeah, they got a gun. They don't have a gun.
But I feel
they
like
go hunting on the weekends.
They use it with like common sense. Like there is no remorse behind it. They'd be like, "Oh no, you made me bring this out. It's going down."
I don't know, but yeah. So we had to have a Texas city. Now next up at number 2, I have Washington D.C. The only reason I think of that is because of the infrastructure. Like they must have like big world event scenarios ready to go because that's where the White House is.
True.
So like their actual like organization and the military presence and all that stuff. Like I think they're gonna
reside there. Like the former presidents, like don't they have to like once they like like after their years are done, they like get a home there. So I also assume like just even like normal residential areas.
I have no idea. But yeah, so Washington D.C. at number 2, and then yeah, New York City. I mean, I don't know what'll phase them at this point. It'll be another event, and they'll deal with it. But
like even think about it, like
go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna go off on a little tangent. You go. What?
Oh, I was just gonna say the only thing that I'm a little skeptical on is how much of New York is New Yorkers. And like how much of it is people that have come from other places. Like when 9/11 happened was like what was the proportion as opposed to like now? Like
that's true.
Because if it's not a whole lot of native New Yorkers, maybe New York City's screwed. If there's not a ton of like actual like born and raised New Yorkers there. I don't know. But
I was thinking along lines of like even like the movie Avengers shows it. Like I feel like Avengers very well dictates how New Yorkers would like react to something where they're like how much shit is happening in New York constantly, and they're still like, nah, this is my territory. I'm staying. Even if I have to get Hulk insurance, I'm still sticking to my roots.
Yeah. I can see that. But yeah, that was my top 10 list. Any major disagreements there in that?
Besides the ones that can be interchangeable, and me thinking Miami deserves to be lower. But that's just me having my own thing against Miami from the one time or the 2 times I've been, and I just hate the parking and some of the streets just make me ugh. The New York one, I can get behind. I can get behind New York being number 1 because they are a different breed. They are a completely different breed. The city is run by rats at night, so like you also have to defeat the rats because they're native New Yorkers now.
Okay. Yeah, that's the top 10 list. That was this week's top 10 game. Yeah, feel free to let me know in the comments or wherever that whether or not you agree with my list. I think this was a pretty solid. I had this one ready to go for a while. I was like, oh
This
yeah.
was solid, and no one feel free to comment on my comments because I still stand by them no matter what.
All right. Yeah, feel free to die on that hill. Okay. Finally, before we wrap up, this is just like the miscellaneous portion. And last week we mentioned a song recommendation from BTS. I have never heard a full BTS song, I don't think.
I
I
don't think
think I've
so.
seen um clips here and there of music videos, heard bits and pieces of the actual songs, but I have never heard a full BTS song. I'm pretty sure. And
Prior
then
to that.
yes, so last week Andrea recommended a BTS song, and I was supposed to listen to it for this week and kind of get my thoughts on it. However, we did a little bit of a twist, and it's going to be another little mini game here at the end, where basically she gave me a list of BTS songs, and I pick one, listen to one, and then she has to guess from the list like which song that I'm talking about. So I'm not going to say the title of the song, but I'm going to talk about my thoughts on the song, and she has to guess which song it is. Now, I thought this would be a little more straightforward for both of us. However, when I was listening to the song, I was like, how the hell am I supposed to describe this? Because like, if all of their music to an untrained ear is gonna sound similar, you're screwed in there. Because I don't know how to differentiate between them. So, um, okay, so the song I listened to, obviously, I'm not gonna say the name, but I'm trying really hard to find a way to describe this song. Okay. My initial thoughts were immediately like, oh, this can be an anime opening. But I don't know how much of that is
I
just
think I already
like,
have a solid idea which one it is. Because I wait. I didn't put the one that I thought would have been the anime open. Okay, keep going.
just because
I have
like
an idea though.
I don't know how much of that is just me like, oh, the language, Korean and Japanese isn't probably
Is it like the beat or is it like
yeah, like the actual music itself. Obviously, I don't know what the heck they're saying. I think there was subtitles and stuff. Um, but yeah, so there's like the first, I don't know, however, it's a 4-minute song, I think. So I think like the
okay.
first 2 minutes is just like music and rhythm and beat, and then like melodies and stuff. And then I think towards the second half, there's a section where it's almost like rap.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if that's what they're doing. Um, but yeah, so there was like a section of rap, and then at the end back to like the melody and beat and stuff. Pretty upbeat song. I think there was some pretty nice guitar on it, if I remember correctly. And yeah, it felt like a little up tempo, but I don't know if that's just how all their music is. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, good luck, and then I'll try to figure that out.
Okay. My top ideas are Tier, My City. It's not Oog because Oog is like rap, purely rap. And you said at the beginning there was some like it was like more instrumental at the beginning, or were there lyrics at the beginning?
I think there were lyrics throughout, but like I specifically remember that there was like it was sounding like a normal pop song, but then there was like a little rap section almost. Um,
Oh no, is it now save me? Ah! Hold on.
okay,
Okay,
so
I don't
give me the top three that you think it is, and I'll tell you if it's my guess.
okay. Now that you said like the pop thing, I'm thinking like save me. But then like the rap portion in the middle, I'm thinking tier. Because I can also see that like how you could probably think that's like maybe like an outro for an anime. I don't watch anime. I don't really know, but I'm thinking. I'm also thinking Ma City. Because it's very that song's very like hype, but I wouldn't consider it pop-ish.
Okay, so those are your top three.
Yeah.
You are correct. It is one of those three.
Okay. No, I don't think it would be My City. Is it Save Me?
And it was My
Here?
City.
It was My City?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to describe that. Like I was like, I guess it's.
Oh, okay. The pop thing is what threw me for a loop a bit, but I guess it's also its interpretation.
I was
Like,
gonna say yeah, because it's not like it didn't sound like rock to me, but it didn't sound like I don't know. It wasn't. It was definitely not like fully rap or
I
hip
guess
hop,
pop
but
would
like
be, yeah, because they have a rap group, so there's like four of members are like the vocal line, so they have more of like there's like the way they sing. Well, they all have individual voices. Like one's better for like soul type of music, like R&B, but all of them it's like mainly like pop-ish is what when it's mainly them singing, or they do kind of like little ballads, but then like the rap, yeah. Yeah, but there's always rap in like every song when it's them together.
okay.
Even if it's
Well,
like a small, it's like little ballad, like sweet number.
well, there you go.
What do you think of the song
That's
though?
uh not bad. The rap little section definitely threw me for a loop. But I was like,
Were
what?
you
Where did
not
this come from?
expecting there to be rap at all?
I was not expecting that. I was looking for a music video, but I didn't see one.
Yeah, no. Some of them it's no, they don't have this
I
video.
thought K-pop was like a massive like music video thing. Like that was like a big
Well,
thing for them.
so for them, like each album has like a really good amount of songs because each so the three members who are rappers, they each write their own, like they write the music or they also get help from like the people like this vocal line, ones who sing. And they have like a lot of songs because they're constantly songwriting and like constantly producing. Like all three of them are like actual producers that people like have asked them to help like produce on them, even if they don't sing, like have them on there. So they have like a lot. So they're not gonna have a music video for everything. Usually there's like one or two songs on an album that's like the popular lead single, and then that gets a music video. But the other ones, it's like you'll see like them perform at concerts and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I'm learning every day. But yeah, that's been this week's episode. Next week, and then I will have some more gossip. I'll have a new top 10 game,
I'll
and
make
I'll
it
pick
lighter.
another. I mean, it was good. It was entertaining for sure. Um, but yeah, so that's it. That's been this week's episode. We'll we'll see you guys next week. Adios.
Bye.